Well, the snow is finally starting to melt. Soon, thousands of young athletes will head outside for spring sports.
But are the fields themselves safe? New questions tonight about what's being used on fields across the state. The I-Team's Kath takes a closer look.
Whether they're catching, kicking, or cradling, every year more young athletes play on synthetic turf fields. They are durable and easy to maintain, but Teddy Shapiro, who's been a soccer goalie since he was 8, wonders if those fields made him sick.
It's a rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcoma. You know, I couldn't really move after the surgery, and pain was intense.
Shapiro and his parents are concerned about these rubber crumbs made from recycled tires used to fill in the artificial grass. They're designed to reduce injuries. Teddy spent 10 years diving and sliding on the stuff.
You know, there are cuts, and it got in the cuts when I was diving.
A college soccer coach in Washington, Amy Griffin, had similar concerns. She compiled a list of at least 50 soccer players with cancer, most of them goalies.
I believe that there are a lot of bad things in crumb rubber.
There is exposure to some of the chemicals that may cause cancer, respiratory or skin sensitization.
According to Joel Tickner of the Toxic Use Reduction Institute at UMass Lowell, there are dozens of chemicals in used tires, many of them toxic. And a 2007 study out of Connecticut found hazardous chemicals in water runoff from turf fields. But there are no studies proving exposure to the rubber crumbs is harmful to kids.
We just don't know fully.
But the town of Newburyport isn't willing to take any chances with a new field plan for their high school. Officials there will now fork over more money, up to $250,000, to use colored sand instead of the crumb rubber.
The town of Marlboro got bids for organic alternatives for 2 fields they're building here. However, a city official told the I-Team they'd likely go with the crumb rubber because those other options were simply too expensive.
I call it toxic soup.
Tracy Stewart and a group of concerned residents tried but failed to convince the town of Medway to consider an alternative for 2 fields at the high school. The group believes children shouldn't be playing on old tires.
It's banned from landfills in 11 states, but yet we can let our children play on it, roll on it, potentially ingest it. That's really scary.
In a statement, the Synthetic Turf Council argues, quote, not one study out of the 51 we cite and make available on our website warns against a serious elevated human health or environmental risk from synthetic turf. But none of those studies have looked at long-term health effects, something the Shapiros and the parents in Medway believe is the only way to know for sure.
There was a point in time in our history when asbestos was a great product. There was a point in time when we didn't care about lead.
We need to protect these kids. We need to rule out anything that could harm them.
Several Massachusetts lawmakers sent a letter to the State Department of Public Health. They're asking the agency to do its own safety testing of crumb rubber to help communities make a decision about what's best for their residents. For the I-Team, Kath, WBZ News.